Hi, I'm Engineer Jeff Cortez, and in the following weeks, I'll be helping you in answering various problems that will help you in your preparation for the Civil Engineering Board examination. And for our problem today, it will be about static friction or friction, and it is a common problem in the principle of structural analysis and design. So without further ado, the problem reads, determine the greatest angle so that the ladder does not slip when it supports a load of 75 kilograms in the position shown. The coefficient of static friction at A and B is 0.3 and each leg of the ladder is 2.5 meters long. So in order to answer this problem, we have to first create our free body diagram. I've already prepared some parts of it. So here, we can see the normal force at A and B, and for our friction force at this points as well is already provided the direction. So the direction of this friction were decided because if we imagine the movement of our ladder once we have applied the load, it will tend to move in this manner. And since friction always acts opposite the direction of motion, therefore, the friction at B will be as such and the friction at A will be as such. The next thing that we have to prepare is the dimensions of our free body diagram, and I've already prepared that. It's here, so you can just pause and analyze. So just simple trigonometric relationship will give us the dimension for the height here and the widths here. So now let's move on the more important part of the problem, which is finding the greatest angle so that the ladder does not slip. What we have to do is to create a function for our forces, which is NA and B, and the friction forces so that they are a function of our theta or the angle. So to do that, I'll first find the summation of moment at A, where I will equate clockwise to counterclockwise motion. This will give us this forces here. So we're taking our moment at here. So for clockwise, it's our 75 kilograms. And for our counterclockwise, it will be the normal force B. So we will neglect the friction forces because they coincide with our point A. So continuing, I'll just write that. So 75 times its moment arm of 0.25 based on the image provided equals to NB. So that's 2 times 2.5 sine half theta. And NB will now be a function of theta. Now we proceed with summation forces vertical or along the y-axis, where I will equate upward forces with downward forces. And we can see in our free body diagram, there's only 3 forces. So that's NA and NB for upward forces and the 75 load for the downward forces. So we already have our function for NB. So for NA, it will become, and just substitute what we've already solved earlier. There we go. Now for our summation forces along the x-axis or for our horizontal forces. So we can see here that only the friction forces are our horizontal forces. Okay, at this point, it would be convenient for us to remind ourselves what the formula for friction is. And the formula for friction is the coefficient of friction multiplied by the normal force. To be more specific, for moving objects, the kinetic friction is equal to the coefficient of kinetic friction multiplied by the normal force. So that's for a moving object. While our static friction for stationary objects will be the coefficient of static friction multiplied by the normal force. We will be tempted to proceed in this manner. So we will, since we want the ladder to stay stationary, we're tempted to use the coefficient of static friction immediately. So for FA, it will become mu S times NA, which is equal to the friction force B, which is mu S times NB. And since our static of friction is equal for both, they will cancel, and we'll see that we've created an equation wherein NA is equal to NB. But based on our previous equations, such as here and here, we can already see that this is not the case, that they cannot be equal. And even looking at our free body diagram wherein there's no load symmetry, NA and NB cannot be equal. So where did we go wrong in answering this problem? So we go back to a trickier part of friction, which is that most people think that when we're dealing with static friction, it's always equal to this equation. However, this equation right here, or this value, is not just any type of static friction. Rather, it is the maximum static friction. So I prepared here the graph that we normally use to show the relationship of our friction and applied force. So we know that as we keep applying forces on our object, its friction force also increases until we reach this point. And at this point, our object begins to move and it will now experience this friction force. And the values of this are, for the highest ordinate, mu s times n, and mu k times n after it starts to move. So my point here is that for static objects, its value is not always this. Our value can be any of those here. So this implies that since our NA and NB are not equal, points A and B will slip at different times. So one of them will begin to slip earlier than the other. So it's possible that, since of course the NA and NB are not equal, it's possible that at a certain applied load, point B will be here while point A will be here. So in order to solve the greatest angle before it moves, we have to first identify which of these 2 points will move first. And in order to do that, what we can do is assume first. Assume and check if our assumption is correct. So with that, my first assumption, and actually, I'll explain to you at the later part of this video why assuming that point B will first reach the maximum static friction is the more convenient assumption. So as I've said, we'll first assume. So assume B reaches Fs max first. So again, later I'll explain why this is the more convenient first assumption, initial assumption. So since we're assuming that, our equation will now be, for the friction force at B, it will be Fs max, which is mu s times the normal force, or 0.3 NB. And based on our summation forces along the horizontal, this must also be equal to the friction force at A. Now we have already this equation, and we've created another equation, which is this with this. So we have to create another relationship for FB and NB in order to be able to solve for the angle theta. And in order to do that, we create another free body diagram. The free body diagram of one of the legs of the ladder. And for convenience, we will create the free body diagram for CB. So it'll be as such. So at C, and this is at B, we have the normal force at B, the friction force at B, which is equal to 0.3 NB, so we've already seen here. And I'll just put the dimensions real quick. So it's 2.5 cos. And here it will be 2.5 sine half theta. And although we won't be able to use them or solve for them, I'll just show to you the forces at C. The reason why we won't be needing those is because I'll take summation moment at C. Okay, so again, I'll equate forces acting at the counterclockwise with clockwise motion. And writing that, it will be, with that we can simplify. We can cancel NB and 2.5 here. And if we just do some transposing, we can see that this leads us to this equation. And the value of theta would be 2 times arctan 0.3, which is actually equal to 33.398 degrees. So with this, we have to check first if our assumption is correct. And in order to do that, we have to use this solve theta on our previously created formulas, this, and this. So with that, our value of NB will be 13.051 kilograms. And our value for the friction force B will be 3.915 kilograms, which is 0.3 times NB. And again, F, our friction force at A, must also be equal to 3.195 kilograms. And the value of our NA will be 61.949 kilograms. Yes. So at this point, we can now check if we've done a correct assumption. And in order to do that, we solve for the maximum static friction at A, which is 0.3 times NA, which gives us 18.585 kilograms. And this means since our FA is smaller than this maximum, we can safely know that at point A, the ladder is still not slipping because it requires 18.585 kilograms of applied force before it begins to move. And since we only have 3.915 kilograms, then our assumption that B or point B will slip first is correct. So we can say that A does not slip, but B begins to slip at our solve theta of 33.398 degrees. So actually, we don't have to check if our other assumption of A reaching Fs max first, because we've already seen here that we've verified our first initial assumption. But if ever point A was your first attempt, so I've already prepared the solution here. So I've just done again the same method, FA. So we'll equate it to FA max A first and create the free body diagram for like AC, then solve for the thetas we've done earlier, and we'll come up with this theta. Our theta will be 159.775. So what this tells us is that at this angle of 159.775 degrees, point A will begin to move. So we can already verify that this won't be our greatest angle because we've solved earlier that at 33.398 degrees, point B will begin to move. So there, we can already safely say that the greatest angle is indeed 33.398. But if we did verify more using this angle in order to solve our various forces, we can see that our solved FB will be 21.357 kilograms, but our FS max B for the given NB is 1.143 kilograms. This means that our point B is already slipping, has already moved, because the needed force for it to move is 1.143 kilograms, but it's already experiencing 21.357 kilograms of force. So the reason why assuming that point B slips first is a convenient initial assumption, especially for our civil engineering board examination, where time is of the essence, is because when we look at the free body diagram, we can see that NA is closer to the only applied force, which is the vertical force 75 kilograms. And with this, we can know that NA will always have a greater value than NB. And since our formula for friction states that the friction force is directly related or linearly related to the normal force, or as we increase the normal force, our friction force also increases. And since NA will always be greater than NB, then Fs max for A will always be greater than Fs max B, which means that B will tend to move first before A. And that is why the greatest angle so that the ladder does not slip is indeed 33.398 degrees and B slipping first. Thank you for listening.